Finally, we get to learn how to make the crane. The classic origami crane. This is the symbol of all origaminess. It is, like, if you know how to make origami, you gotta know how to make the crane. The crane is, like, people that don't even know how to make origami know how to, people that don't even know what origami is, who've never even heard the word, probably have made the crane at least some point in their life. So today we're going to make the origami crane and learn the crane base. We're going to make the crane with, it's kind of a peach color. It's kind of peaceful. We like doing cranes with peaceful colors. So here we go. Like always, the colored side goes down. Now, one of the first things that we need to do before we make the crane base, just like we did with the star, we need to make the square base. And the square base starts out with a triangle. So we start by making a triangle. Bring those tips together, nice and neat. Look really close to make sure you get them up there. You should be a pro at this by now. Piece of cake getting those to match up. Okay, so we made one triangle. Now we're folding it in half again. If I can do this, into a smaller triangle. Get those two tips to match up really nice. Now the crane, it's one of those pieces of origami where you really want to have nice folds. To make it have a good tail and a good beak and a good wings, you like it to have really nice, crisp, clean folds that are right up where they should be. Okay, so now we're going to fold this into the square base. Okay, so I'm going to open this up, get my finger in there, open that up nice, make sure that doesn't go out, and bring the tips together down there. Okay, that looks pretty good. One side and the other side. Sorry, crane. Bumped into him there. Got a little excited about my square base. Flip it over. Here we go. Let's do the other side. Kind of get that there. Let's squish this triangle down into a square. Get that right down in there, good. So we have our square base here, and now we need to make this into our crane base. To do that, we do something similar to the kite base that we did earlier. You remember that a lot of this from the star. This is exactly the same as the star so far. Okay, I'm gonna, boy, I did a bad fold there. Okay, make that there. Here we go, second side. Flip it over and do the same thing. We're just bringing this bottom side of the flaps into the center. Make sure you're not doing the part with the top where it's not open. You gotta have the part where it's open down here, and you're folding this open side towards the center. Not the closed side, the open side. There we go. There we go. Now, we're going to take this top half here and fold it along this. It can go back or forward, whatever you want to do. Just fold it right until it hits that paper edge there. You don't want to go too far, but you don't want to underdo it or overdo it. Do it just right. Okay? Let's get that fingernail on there. All right, sometimes I like to even fold it the other way, because all we're doing here is making a nice triangle fold. Okay. All right, here we go. If you've made the star, you're going to be a pro at this. Champion. Here you go. Open this up and folding right along this edge that we made there. In fact, you know, you're going to find if you did the star, this is easier because there's not as much paper in the way. It's going to come together a lot easier than with the star. So if you're a pro at the star, you're a champion at this. Okay, there we go. Those sides just come in just like that. Piece of cake. All right, let's flip it over and do the other side. Open those flaps up. And here we go. Probably already have this done by now. You don't need me. Probably look at that crane and say, oh, I know how to make that already. There we go. All right, this is our crane base. Now, we're just like 2 steps away from getting our awesome piece crane. Here we go. Now we're going to fold this corner, and here's the open side up there, that corner into the center. Don't go too much past the center. You want to have it right on or just a little bit to this side of it, because if you go too far, it kind of messes up the next step. So here we go. Let's get that in there. Not too far, just right. In fact, as I'm doing this, it's probably okay. I wouldn't cry too much if these 2 pieces aren't touching each other. I don't know if you can see how I folded that. They're not quite touching each other. That's okay. On this step, it actually makes the next one a little bit nicer. So here we go. Let's fold those in. But don't stay too far apart. That won't be nice either. Just don't overdo it. Okay. There we go. Now if you folded the right side, remember we didn't want to fold that up there. You can see this fancy little angle pattern there. I like that angle pattern. Here we go. All right. Now the next step, I'm going to open this up. Flatten it so that it's like this. Okay. Did you follow what I did there? All I did was switch the directions that it was going. I just folded it the other way. So it looks like this now. Now take this flap here and fold it up to the top. It should just about reach the top of the wings there, and it's going to stop folding all by itself there. It can't go any further. Flip it over and let's do the other side. All right. And pick one. It can be either side, but I'm just going to fold that down, just like we did with the swan way back in the beginning. Now I'm going to close this. Here we go. And here goes the wings down for the grand entry of our beautiful, awesome piece crane. I'm going to take his head there and kind of push that down in. There we go. And here's our crane. And if you want to, you can pull the wings just a little bit to open up. You can open up that base a little bit so that he stands a little bit better. Play with the paper. And make it so he stands. And there we go. You are official origami master now that you can make the crane. But the next lesson, we're making a lily. Not a water lily, just a flower lily that is actually my favorite, and I think you'll get more wows out of that one than the crane. Even though the crane's pretty cool, the lily I think is even cooler. So there we go. Here you go, crane buddies. Here's a little tiny crane that I made out of a gum wrapper, a Trident gum wrapper. I don't know if you can you see that there? Looks like its head's come up a little bit. That was a little tough, but just a little tiny crane that I made out of a gum wrapper. And just to show you that it can be done, My 10-year-old girl, well, she was 9 at the time, but she made a couple cranes out of tiny pieces of paper like this.